Tell me who has heard of a greatest common factor before?
GCF.
A GCF. That is the foundation of factoring, is a GCF. So tell me, what is a GCF?
So you got 12. The highest thing goes into 12, so 6.
So you're thinking along, it's not multiple, but it's factor. It's the biggest thing that goes into something with no remainder, right?
Right.
So if I gave you two numbers, let's say I gave you
6 and 12.
6 and 12, what is the GCF of those two numbers?
6.
Does everyone understand why it's 6?
Yes, because 6 goes into 6 once and 12.
If you listed out the factors here,
It's the greatest, man.
the factors of 6 are 1, 2, 3, and 6. Do you agree?
Yeah, because 1 times 6 equals 6, and 2 times 3 equals 6.
What are the factors of 12?
1 times 1 and 12.
1.
2 and 6. 3
Go in order though. 1,
12. Oh, 2.
2,
3. 4. 12.
6.
12.
So here, what is the biggest number that they both share? 6. Guys. Shh. This. What if I change these terms to look like 6x and 12x squared?
Something like what?
6
What is it?
x twice.
The coefficient is still the GCF of those two numbers in front, is still 6. Do we all agree?
Yes.
But what about the x's? What happens with those x's?
They just kind of sit there. Hey, I can't see from
6 what?
Me either.
Okay.
Hey, I can't.
Here's what happens. You want to take the most number of x's away that you can, but you can't take any more than what one can give. Okay? So think about this for a minute. If this one's got 2 and this one's got 1, then the most I could take from both of them is 1. Does that make sense? Okay.
Yes.
And what I'm doing is I'm going over some pieces from Algebra 1 to try to make it easier when we put factoring all together. So it's going to feel like we're going from one thing to another as we do this. Shh, shh. But if you will, stick with me because I think it'll all come together and make sense to you. If I had something, let's take these same two numbers. Actually, let's do it this way. 12x squared plus 6x. And I asked you to take out the GCF. Okay, we've already determined what the GCF was. It's what? 6x, right? If I asked you to take that out, so I'm going to put it on the outside, what's left when I take that out? In other words, remember we talked about GCFs deal with dividing, right? The biggest thing you can divide it by. So if I divide this first one by 6x, what's left? 2x. Plus, what's left in the next one? Dividing, remember. 1. Ask me again, Tyler. Well, the reason it's not squared is because it had 2 and I pulled 1 out on the outside. So it leaves 1 here. If I went backwards and I multiplied this back through, x times x is what? X squared.
To be honest, it's going to be 12x squared.
Yes.
To be honest, I don't understand.
Okay.
Can I just ask you a question?
Yeah.
Let's see if it's 6 times 2.
No.
Thank you, Mr. Lawson. Those are yours?
It's 6
Ask
times
me.
2, and that was 12. And you got the 2 x's, so you just made the exponent of 2.
Yes.
Where you get that 6 from?
The 6 is the GCF of these two things. Guys, if you're talking, stop. I'm backwards distributing is what I'm doing.
Yes, ma'am.
Distributing multiplies forward. Whenever I take a GCF out, I'm doing the backwards of that.
So basically this is 6 times.
So what you do with that
Yes.
twin?
And you brought the
I'm dividing them by. Let's look at another one. Let's do another one.
Wait, so then you just multiply now. So instead of like doing the square root.
Your it's not, you're thinking answer as in solving or anything like that. I'm manipulating what's there and writing it a different way.
So that's the same
It
problem.
holds the same value, it's the same problem, it's the same expression.
Oh, I get it.
I'm just writing it another way.
I get it now, for real.
Okay.
I don't get it.
Okay.
6 times.
Guys,
So 6x times 2x equals 12x squared. 6x
times 1 would be hush.
6 times.
Let me show you another one. This one's got 3 pieces instead. Okay? 1, 2, 3. Yes? Yes?
Yeah.
Is there a GCF between these 3 terms?
2.
Two. Do you see why this one doesn't have an X?
No.
This one has 2 X's. This one has 1 X. This one has none. So you can't take something from somebody that doesn't have anything to give, right? But I can divide everything by 2. Do you agree?
Yeah, so you got 1x.
So if I take the GCF out, okay, take it out and write it on the outside, tell me what is left.
2x.
You're dividing everything by 2 because that's the GCF. Yeah.
12 somewhere.
Yes.
12 somewhere, right?
Somebody said it over here. X squared. So the question is, why is this not 2x? Well, do you see, first of all, do you see where, guys, do you see where the 2 comes from?
Yeah.
The 2 comes from, because that's the biggest thing you can divide 2, 6, and 8 by, right?
Yeah.
There's no X on the outside of here because in order to take an X, everybody would have to have an X to give.
Yeah.
8 doesn't have an X to give, so I can't take it. Okay? So now, if I only take a 2, that means I'm only dividing by 2 on each one. So that leaves me with how many here?
3x.
3x. Leaves me with how many here?
Minus 4. Yeah.
A little bit more sense? I told you I'm showing you bits and pieces before I pull
So
everything all
you
together.
showing us how to simplify right now.
I'm showing you how to factor out a GCF right now.
It's basically simplified, right?
So we just divide it.
Do you have a question, Kaylin? Okay. Yes, well, we have taken out the GCF now. Okay, that's all I'm asking you to do right now is find the GCF and take it out. Let's look at another one.
This looks like that ABC thing.
No, they are all, this whole chapter is about quadratics with the ABC thing.
That's why I thought we squared.
Take a look at this one.
You just had it there.
Darion. That's your warning for today.
Oh, what happened?
She was recording and you kind of cussed on her.
So that's your warning for today. If you use that language again, I'm going to ask you to leave. If you look at 15x squared,
5.
okay, looking at these 2 terms, can I take anything out? In other words, is there a GCF
Yes.
of those 2 terms?
5x.
5 and x, okay? Now, the numbers in front, 5x, because, watch, exactly, Dwight. All
But that junk got a 2 on it.
right, wait.
That just means there's 2x.
The biggest thing I can divide 15 and 35 by, y'all have told me, is 5.
Yeah.
That's easy, right? That's the GCF of a constant. You can do that. You learned that a long time ago. The x's, I think, are what's throwing everybody. So let's look at them. This one has 2 x's. Do you agree?
Yeah.
How many x's does this one have? 1. So think about this as, I've got to take the most I can away from everybody, but you can't take more than what somebody has to give.
1.
Okay? So I can take 1x, right? So you told me 5, and I have an x. If I take 5x from everybody, what is left?
1x. The x will just be there.
Look at the coefficients first, which would be a 3.
And you can just have 7.
How many x's do I have left? 1x.
Minus 7.
Yes.
The x gone. You're able.
The x is gone. I took it out.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. I took 1x from here, 1x from here, and I divided them by 5.
7 times 5 equals 35. And she took that x away, so it's just 7. You ready?
Yes.
Come on again. Yeah.
Give me a thumbs. I got GCF, so, or I don't got it at all.
I know this.
Okay. Okay. So what we're going to do, GCF is part of factoring. It is a form of factoring. This is a way to factor this expression. I have factored out a GCF, okay? And go ahead.
Find the GCF, and we go to divide the GCF.
By each piece there, yes. Correct.
So on that, the 5x is there.
So 5x
Correct.
squared?
There was 2 x's in the first one and 1 in the second. So I could take one of them.
There's a fraction from an x squared.
Yeah, one more. Okay, y'all try this one. Actually, let me even make it.
I got it. I think.
Oh, Lord.
Now, Mr. You know you had to.
For real.
Not that complicated.
Listen, find the GCF and factor it out on your own. I'm going to give you a few seconds. Don't blurt it out. Everybody works at a different pace. Give everybody a chance to do it. Take it. If you're still working, several of you are talking in your pod about it, and I hear you, and I'm glad to hear the math talk. Let's look at it together, though. If you're still working, keep kind of plugging through it. Let's take this one step at a time, okay? When you see something as they get bigger, you got to take a step at a time. Look at the coefficients, okay? That's the numbers in front. Don't think about the variable yet. Think about the coefficients. What's the biggest thing that you can divide 18, 6, and 27 by?
3.
3. Does everybody agree?
3x
Yes.
squared is your answer.
The GCF is 3 for the coefficients, right?
Yeah.
Now let's think about the x's. You've got to take the most amount of x's you can. This one's got 5, 3, and 2, but you can't take more than what any one person has, right? So you take 2. Now,
This is 3x squared.
what do I have? Okay, wait. All right, do you get where we got the 3? Do you see where we got the 3?
Because
exponent.
you see the exponent on there.
What's the biggest
be
number
more
you
than
can
what you
divide
have.
these 3 by?
So you take 2.
and not get a remainder.
That's what she just said.
The lowest number of the exponent. The lowest. All right. That's a good analogy, Kaylin, and I've used that before. You've got to take the same amount of money from everybody, but you can't take more than what any one person has to give. So if you've got $2, you've got $5, and you've got $10, and I got to take the same amount from everybody, how much can I take? 2.
You can't do that, though. She gonna have money.
He's got $5, he's got $3, and she's got $2. How many can I take? 2.
But she gonna be broke.
She gonna be broke, but still I gotta take the same from everybody. And because I'm greedy, I'm gonna take the most I can.
So you gonna take all that money.
I'm gonna take all that money.
That ain't right.
All right. What's left? All right. Remember, I'm dividing the numbers in front, right? So what's left from 18?
6 and 3.
6x3 because they got $3 left. I took $2, but they got 3 left. Minus 2x plus 9.
Cause you took all her money.
I took all that. Does that make sense to everybody?
That's a 27.
Yes. Let me show you what factoring looks like before I show you how to factor, okay, guys?
So you give him an example.
This is an example of what factoring looks like and what we're going to do that I'm going to teach you how to do, okay? You're going to start with something. that looks like this. Okay? And from this, remember, all we're doing is writing it a different way, okay? Don't think solving, don't think is that the answer. We're rewriting it, okay? We're changing the way it looks. It's kind of like saying, instead of saying, I don't know if you remember, my daughter's going through like multiplication and how it relates back to addition. So 2 times 3 is the same thing as 2 plus 2 plus 2, right? It's the same thing, it's just writing it a different way. Do we agree? Yes. Does that make sense? We're going to take something that looks like this, and we're going to write it as a multiplication problem that's going to look like this. Okay?
I put it anyway.
So, yeah, I'm fixing to show you. I don't want you to know where I got it from right now. Right now, I want you to see what it is we're doing.
I got it.
We're just rewriting something a different way.
Can you
We're
foil
taking, yes, you could foil that out to get back here. It's the same thing, but we're taking the expanded version and we're writing it as a multiplication problem, okay? And I'm going to show you how to do that.
Okay.
So when I talk about factored form, this is factored form. Okay?
Yeah, I got you.
All right. First thing I need to show you, we talked about the GCF. The next thing I want to talk to you about is what the signs are going to look like, okay? Now, when I talk about signs, and this is what, guys, can we stop? This is what I'm talking about whenever I say signs. This is the sign, or these are the signs of the first, okay? When I say signs of the first, this is what I'm talking about. And we're always, right now, we're just going to be going from 3 pieces to 2 multiplied. And Amaya, this is your ABC again.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
How do you remember all of this? I've never.
She teaches it 4 times a day. Is the thing.
I've never.
This is the kind of thing you have to pay attention. You cannot shut down on me, and you cannot be distracted by other things,
I
okay?
want to be honest, I already shut down.
It's tough, but once you get it, you got it. We will reference factoring for the entire rest of the semester, okay? You won't be able to do anything from this point forward if you can't factor. That's why we're spending so long and going so slow as I introduce it, okay?
So long,
Really?
it's just Friday.
Really slow.
This is one concept. Oh, yes. This is one section in chapter 1. Okay. Signs to start with are what's circled in blue, okay? Look at the factored form. The factored form, when I talk about signs, are the signs in between the parentheses, okay? I'm going to give you a little chart that you simply have to memorize, okay? And I will say it so much as we go through here, and hopefully you will look back at it so much that it will become a part of your memory without question. And remember, don't shut down on me when I give this to you, okay? What you start with and what the factored signs look like. Okay? If your second sign that you start with is a plus. Now, whenever I say second sign, right now, I'm talking about this one right here. Okay? The second one in the expression. Now, you're going to have to remember, if something is missing, I got to hold its place with a what?
0.
A 0, right? If there's no X in the middle, I need to put a 0X. The second sign is a plus. Then what's going to happen, and there's 2 scenarios, right? If the second sign's a plus, the first one could either be a plus or a minus, right?
What?
I'm talking about what I start with here. There's 2 signs. I told you don't do this. Do not shut down on me. Do not get frustrated. I have given you 4 signs here, and that's it. Listen to what I'm saying. If the second sign is a plus, if you start, there are 2 signs when you start.
Yes.
If this one is a plus, okay, which means the first one could either be a plus or minus, okay? There's two scenarios if the second's a plus. If that's the case, then when you factor it, both signs are going to be whatever the first was. So in this case, plus plus. In this case, minus minus. Understand what I'm talking about is the signs inside the parentheses.
Wait,
So you don't change the first.
All right, listen. All right, just listen to what I say and try to wrap your brain around it.
As long as you're negative.
If the second sign is plus, both signs factor follow the first sign. Whatever your first sign was is what both of them will be once it's factored. That's only when the second sign is plus. Okay? And I'll say that 150 million times. If the second sign is plus, both signs follow the first. The second sign is plus, both signs follow the first.
What if the second sign is a minus?
I'm going to give you that scenario in a minute.
Wouldn't it be plus, that's the opposite?
No, it'll be plus and minus.
Oh.
Yeah.
isn't it the same thing as multiplication and division?
No, not quite. All right.
You gonna tell us this one before?
Yeah, what? That factoring was not
She
important?
taught us that. What?
Okay. If the second sign is plus, what are the signs going to look like at the end?
Something
Follow
like
the first, whatever the first is. Are we all on the same page?
Sure.
All right. So Caroline said, okay, Miss McGee, I got that, but what if the second sign is a minus?
It'll be plus
That's when the problem gets a little sticky, okay? If the second sign is minus, ooh. If the second sign is minus, that means I could have a plus for the first sign or a minus for the first sign, right? So if either of these two scenarios occur,
plus and a minus.
I'm just going to tell you that they're going to be, it's going to be mixed signs, okay? One plus, and I'm not going to give them to you because the order's not important here.
Yeah, because they equal the same thing, right?
Well, no, but what's going to happen, one will be minus, one will be plus. Your box will tell you which is which.
No, I'm saying like boom. Like once you put it in the box, does it matter which one you do?
All right, here's all I want you to know right now. No, it does not.
I'm just putting plus.
Here's all I want you to know right now. Listen. If the second sign is plus, what happens? They follow the first. You. If the second sign is minus, what happens?
Yes, it's gonna be mixed.
Mixed. That's all I want you to know right now. If the second sign is plus, both signs,
Your mama don't approve.
both signs what? If the second sign is plus,
Sign follows first.
the sign follows the first. If the second sign is minus, mixed. Yes or no?
Yes.
Say it with me one more time. If the second sign is plus, follow the first. If the second sign is minus, mixed. Yes?
Okay.
What do you mean?
Okay.
Let me write that
One plus, one minus. And I'm not gonna write, I mean I can. It's either gonna be like this or like this, but you'll have one plus, one minus.
Follow the first side after factoring if it's plus.
Correct. All right. Let me give you a couple of trinomials. That's the three pieces, and I want you to tell me what the signs are going to look like in the end, okay? We still haven't got to the factoring. I'm still trying to set you up to
Said
factor.
about 3.
Three pieces, like I showed you the x squared plus 5x plus 6.
Okay, and what about the
No, not three signs. Three
If it's
trinomial, three terms.
subtraction?
They have two signs in the
So
middle.
they'll be different. They'll be mixed if something.
if the second side
Is minus,
Subtraction.
yes.
it'll be mixed.
Mixed, correct. Look at these.
Why are you singing like that?
I'm gonna just use the same. Darion. One of each scenario. I'm giving you one of each scenario, but I'm mixing them up.
I want to take a plan, Bo. Shut up, Bo.
All right, guys, y'all need to focus on the math. Look at the first scenario. When it's factored, what are the signs going to look like? Both of them are minus. So whenever I factor this, I don't know what numbers are going to go in here, but I know each one's going to have a minus in between it.
How you know?
If the second sign is plus, both follow the first.
I hear that.
Okay? Look at the second one. What are the signs going to look like?
Plus and minus.
One plus, one minus. They're mixed, okay?
Doesn't matter which one.
It doesn't matter which one comes first. However you choose to write it, but one will be plus and one will be minus. They'll be mixed, okay? And when I show you the technique that I'm going to show you to factor it, you will see how to determine which one.
You got another technique?
Yeah, I got a little handout for you to show you. Look at the third one.
Plus.
Both of them are plus. Why? You look at the second one. If it's a plus, then they both follow the first. I know you feel like I'm saying that a million times, and I am because I want it to stick in your brain. The second sign is plus. They both follow the first. How about the last one? Mixed. Darian, you see what I was talking about when I first put it up here? I don't get this.
No, I don't see how you break it down now.
Okay, I'm fixing to show you how you break it down. All right, tell me this before I show you factoring, because we did all this to build up to factoring. Do you feel comfortable pulling out a GCF and putting it on the outside and determining what these signs are going to look like? Okay, all right. Let me pause this and remember, as you look at this, remember what we're doing. If you look at the top, there is an expression up there, 6x squared plus 7x plus 2. Now, hopefully, y'all are going to look at this since we spent so much time building up to this. You're going to look and say, oh, that's not that bad. It's like, this is like a big puzzle as you go through, okay? Think about it like that. All right, there's a couple asterisks at the top of your paper. The first one says always check for a GCF, a common term. If you want to write GCF above common term, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about GCF. So that's always your first step of factoring. If it has a GCF and you can take it out, that's always your first step. So look at this expression.
Well, they all have GCF.
Does it have a GCF other than one?
No.
No. Okay? So I'm good there. If it did, I would go ahead and factor it out like we did earlier and put it on the outside. Kevin, put that away. This is important.
So we wouldn't just put one on that.
No, don't. There's no sense in putting one. But if there's anything bigger than one, yes. All right. If you have a GCF to take out, then you're only going to look at what's left in the parentheses as we go through these steps. And we'll do one like that in just a second. The second thing says make sure you check your signs. Okay? If the signs are different, the box is going to tell you which one's positive and which one's negative. But if the signs are going to be the same, you don't have to keep up with any signs at all. Even if they're both negative, you don't have to worry about signs. Because at the end of the day, we're just going to put the same sign in the middle. Okay? So look at this one and tell me, what are the signs going to look like? Are they going to be the same or different? They're going to be the same. Because if the second sign is plus, they both follow the first, right? So we already know with doing nothing else that I'm going to have a plus-plus scenario, yes? All right. Nothing to it but to do it. Let's set our box up. If you know a different, does anybody know how to factor already? Then you don't know a different, do you know a different way? If you know a different way to do it, then you most certainly may use your own method. This is just a visual way that I have found is the easiest way to teach it. All right, set up your box.
Is this box already on it?
No. Oh, yes, on your sheet. It's already on here. Yeah. This is just a box. All right, look, shh, guys, I need you to focus. We've been working our way to get to this point. I know you've been sitting a long time and you've been listening a long time, but this is what we were building to, okay? First term goes in the first box. The last term goes in the last box. Okay? Does that confuse anybody so far? No, Darian, no. Okay.
Wait a minute, Plow.
Okay. Now, these steps are written on your sheet, okay? Don't forget. And you can follow along as we go, all right? So here's what I want to do. My first thing to do once I get my box set up is I'm going to multiply these two things together. So what is 6x squared times 2? It is 12x squared. Here's where the puzzle comes in, okay? Remember I told you factoring is just a puzzle. This is the hardest part of the puzzle. Okay?
Come on, Plow.
So pay attention. I need two factors that multiply to 12x squared,
And equal to 4.
but whenever I add them together, they have to add to what's in the middle. Okay. I hear 3 and 4, and you're absolutely right, but let me show you how you would come up with that if you didn't know.
All right, Plow.
Let's think about the factors of 12x squared. What all can you and it's x squared, so each one's going to have an x on it. 1 times what gives you 12? 1x and 12x. Shh. What else multiplies to give you 12?
And 6x.
What else multiplies?
4x.
There it is. Boom, stops.
If I replace these commas with plus signs, which one would give me what's left up here?
Last one.
Okay? That's the hardest part.
Wait, what?
Why
did you say?
All right, guys, I need boys and girls. 3x plus 4x is 7x. 3x times 4x is 12x squared.
But you still got to get it equal to.
They have to multiply to this, but add to this. That's your challenge. So what you can do is you can list everything that multiplies to this and then look and say which of these add up to this.
So you two about multiplying.
What if nothing does?
And adding. Then it's not factorable, but the ones I'm going to give you right now, I'm not going to throw you off like that. They will.
So we'll have something.
Well, this just throw me off, Plow.
Yeah.
So we got to put in it.
Yeah.
Let's be keep
CBF cannot be factored, but we're not just, these will be factorable. All right. These are go in the last two boxes. It does not matter which one you put where, okay? I'm going to put 3x and 4x, and actually I'm going to rewrite this box so I'm down a little bit further so I got some room to work. I got 6x squared, 2, 3x, and 4x. The hard work is done, okay? Now it's just a simple matter of finding GCFs, okay? And GCFs are easy, yes?
Yes, Plow.
Yes, Kevin. All right, Darian. All right, watch what I do. I'm going to go up each column and across each row, okay? Here. What is the GCF of 6x squared and 3x? 3x. Biggest thing you can divide both of them by with no remainder, 3x. Same thing we were doing at the very beginning of class. Look at this one.
Ways to what?
The GCF, the biggest thing you can divide them both by,
Both what by?
no remainder, 3x and 6x squared.
Oh, that's 3.
3 what?
3x.
X. Remember, you want to take away the most amount of x's you can, too. What about the second column? 4x and 2. 2. Yes, Tyler.
2 Plow.
Never mind.
Okay.
So why wouldn't 2x be, why wouldn't 2 be 2x?
Because that 2 doesn't have an x to give. I can't take something away that's not there.
Okay,
Oh my God,
hold up.
that's-
I'm
I thought you were
lost.
kidding.
Bring me back.
Wait, so it really do matter where we put it at, 'cause
No, because it's, I'll show you why in a minute. It doesn't.
So we could have put.
Your 3x plus 2 is going to be along the side instead of across the top. But it'll still be the same.
Okay.
All right. All right, watch the we just did the columns. Watch the rows and see if this catches you back up.
Roll.
Watch. We're doing the same thing.
It's different order.
How did you put it in?
It is?
It don't
Put
matter
what
if you
in?
do it that way. Cause I did my other way.
3x.
I ain't
4x.
doing the rolls.
Is it always gonna be that way?
He's going
Yes.
across this time.
Always first number goes to the bottom.
Oh, the order does not matter, and I'll factor it the other way and show
So
you.
you could have put 4x on it.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
if you have to put the 3x on
4
the
X
top
on the
row,
bottom, like on the.
you just go across.
Is it? Okay, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And I'll show you why. All right, as I go across, okay, what is the GCF? 2 what? X. Does everybody see where 2x came from? If I give you DeAndre, if I give you 6x squared and 4x, what's the GCF?
2x.
2x.
I thought you were saying.
Same thing we were doing at the beginning.
No, I thought you were saying like straight across or the great, what do you call it? GCL. Like you gotta.
So it'll be 3x and 2.
What's the GCF?
The
2x. But like when you write it, it'll be 3x and 2, right?
3x and 2. Somebody said it. 1. What? 3 and 2.
You write it down.
Whole lot going on.
Yes, yeah.
A whole lot of
See, you
games.
trying to get me messed
Whole lot of games.
Look.
Hold on, right?
Okay,
Yeah.
hold on.
Yeah, I'm positive.
So we're multiplying up.
Not multiplying, you're finding GCF every time.
So we're going, I'm talking about going straight up. So
Straight up.
straight up, we're trying to figure out which one goes, like 3 goes into 6.
What's the biggest thing you can divide 6 and 3 by?
Geez, okay. Are you just confused with doing those? So these, those are two the same, that's the same thing. You're doing the same thing right now.
Yes, over and over and over.
Can you do it on a different like thing? I think you're confused. I think you're confusing people by doing both of those at the same time.
What you mean?
So do we have?
Hold on, let me pause you both and let me show you. Both of them have to be done because this is, remember there's 2 sets of parentheses. This is 1 set of parentheses.
Wait, I thought 3 and 4.
This is 1.
I thought 3 and 4. Right there was 1 set of 3.
No SLT.
You thought 3 and 4.
3 and 4 under 12.
No, that's what goes in your box.
Okay, so we just use that to find what goes in the box.
Correct. So now, because I know that my signs are the same and they're both plus, then I know this is 3x plus 2, 2x plus 1.
Okay, yeah, the 1 because of 3x and 2.
Because, right, nothing goes into 3 and 2.
Right. So it'd be 1. I got the player.
I don't think so.
All right.
It wouldn't be 1x.
No, because there's no x on the 2.
That's the answer.
Yes.
That's the answer.
Yes. There's not a boy gone right now, is there? No. Okay.
What I play?
Okay. All right. Thank you. Let's look at one more. All right, y'all stay with me. Stay with me. We're not learning anything else. We're just,
So that's 1 step.
that's the end. The end. That's it. It's factored. This is the factored form of what we started with. These are the same thing.
And then we're gonna learn this again tomorrow. We're gonna practice this.
Absolutely.
So we're just gonna learn this till Friday. We're
Well, I ain't taking.
All right.
It's just this. That's gonna be on the.
Factor and factor and
I
solve.
won't be here because I'm going hunting Friday.
All right, look. Shh, 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 shh,
That's
shh.
what's up.
Look. I need to show you one that's got some mixed signs.
Is there something different about it?
Yes, because one of them, it's got to be plus and one of them's got to be minus, and you got to know which one's which. All right, so look at this one. Let's say. Oh man. Let's look at this one. Shh, 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 shh. 11x squared. If you're still not quite comfortable with it, watch us work through it and then copy it, okay?
What up, plan?
Plus 2x minus 9. So remember my first question.
Their common factor or greatest.
Is there a GCF, guys?
No.
Yes. One.
No.
Yes.
Besides one.
There's really no?
Yeah, because you got two. Lexi, you just guessed.
No, she didn't. She looked at it. All right.
Next step is what are the pluses?
Guys, I have a couple different conversations going on, and I don't understand that because I'm still teaching.
So you got a problem.
What are my signs?
You said, what do you what?
What are my signs gonna look like?
Plus and minus.
Plus or
Big
minus?
signs, okay?
Yeah.
This is very important because you need to know how to do this. I can't just throw random signs in the middle this time, okay?
Yes.
Now, I know what my signs are going to look like. Because they're mixed, I've got to keep up with them, okay?
Yes.
No GCF, so I'm ready to go. So set your box up.
Yes.
The first term in the first box.
Yes.
9 or just 9?
Keep up with the signs means hold the signs with the numbers.
Yes.
All right, multiply those two together and you get what?
9, negative 9.
Negative
99. X squared.
Now here's the puzzle. Now, if it multiplies to a negative number,
You gotta divide it, right?
one's got to be positive and one's got to be negative, right? That's the only way to get a negative when you multiply.
Yes.
So I need two things that multiply to negative 99, one positive, one negative, because we're mixed signs, but adds to a positive 2.
No longer look.
This is the puzzle. This is the puzzle.
11, negative 9.
Why do you put that down on top?
11 and
Oh, you're not supposed to.
No. First term, last box, last term, last box. Look. The only things that multiply to 99 are 11 and 9, right?
Yeah. Yes.
One's got to be positive, one's got to be negative. I have to have mixed signs. So if I make the 11 positive and the 9 negative, I need to see what that adds to. And if I make the 11 negative and the 9 positive, I need to see what that adds to.
Wait, yes.
You mean like just on here or like so say 33
Yeah.
and 3?
So which of these, oh, well, yeah, 33 and 3. Which of these add to positive 2?
First one.
The first one.
Yes.
So those are the two that are going in the box.
Yes.
It doesn't matter where you put the 11 and where you put the negative 9.
Yeah.
Just put them in the missing boxes.
Yes.
Now, here's where it's different.
Shut your
And
face.
listen closely. Shh. Pay attention, DeAndre.
Yes.
When you are finding a GCF, the only time the GCF is negative is when both things are negative.
Click your fingers.
So if I come across here, DeAndre, please.
Okay.
This
Yes.
is positive, this one's negative, so that means the GCF's going to be positive. But
Yes.
if I come up here, because they're both negative, the GCF is going to be negative also.
Right.
That's how it tells you which one's positive and which one's negative. So you have to be aware as you go. So let's do it. What is the GCF?
121.
No, you're multiplying them. GCF says what's the biggest thing I can divide them both by?
1.
11. Oh, they're both 11, so you can divide 11 by itself, right?
I see you, boy.
11x, right, Adam? 11x.
X squared over X.
Now look here. You're the biggest thing you can divide them both by with no remainder.
11.
We got that one already. We on the next one.
Oh. 3.
9.
9.
Well, because they're both negative.
There's
we're gonna keep
positive.
the negative. No, this is different rules.
But 3 can go into 9.
But that's not the biggest thing that can go into 9.
Oh, you need the biggest thing.
Biggest thing that can go into 9.
Negative.
I know. I just got priorities.
Spaghetti.
What?
I got written up because tardiness.
Okay, across. GCF.
It's just one.
It's just one, but I can also take a what, Kevin?
-1.
No. An X.
I mean, ain't no difference.
No, because one has two X's.
Exactly.
So you gotta put the X.
You gotta put the X.
You don't got, it was,
Almost, we're almost there, guys. I know this has been a long class. I know this has been a loaded lesson. It's one of the longer lessons that we get through, okay? As I go across here, what is the GCF? One. All right, look. So this factors, guys. Please let me get through this last sentence.
alright,
This factors.
yes.
11x minus 9, x plus 1. Do you see how the box shows you which one's minus and which one's plus? Because remember, we said in the beginning, mixed signs. Are the signs mixed?
Yes.
Wait, why is that just X?
Because 11 and 9, you can't. They don't have a
Don't
GCF.
worry about
So
it like that.
why not one?
Participate with the
Well, it's 1x. They both have an x to give. So you could write 1x here if you wanted to.
Yes.